Yeah, so I have some notes here that nobody on camera can see. So lower back, Achilles, right knee issue, lower back, knees, Achilles. First and foremost, today I'm not going to fix these issues, but I'll give you the chance to actually understand how to fix them yourself and the process followed. So niggles come typically from stress. Stress is training, that's stress on your body, or from trauma. Trauma is basically car crash, sliding tackle, no difference, okay? The first thing is, for example, Kelly Harrington, when she stepped in that ring, she knows and she's accepted she's going to get punched in the face. You're going to get injured no matter what you do exercise-wise. It might not be caused by exercise directly, but it'll be caused by a number of factors that I'm going to discuss as well too. Injury prevention, if you've joined us for injury prevention, is the process of eliminating low-hanging fruit. What that means is, you don't want to get injured, okay, well, where's the weak point on your body? You need a strength coach to point that out to you. Typically, a personal trainer won't. A strength coach is totally different to a personal trainer. There's very, very few of them. Strength and conditioning coach is kind of where you're looking for, and that's my background. Is I'm a strength coach, I'm not a personal trainer. Well, I am, depends on who you're talking to. So managing niggles, third point, is a process of sourcing appropriate resources. An appropriate resource isn't a physio. Appropriate resource is what do you need to get better. Again, when I go through the slides, that will make more sense. Communication is the key to navigating an injury. You shut down, you don't talk, you disappear, that injury might get a little bit better, but I can guarantee it's going to come back and bite you, or another injury is going to show up because you've been compensating how you're carrying your body. Fear keeps you safe, but fucks up all purpose. So fear will keep you safe, but it won't move you forward and past the injury. And again, other things can come down the line. So again, as I said, injury occurs. Then what happens is you need to follow a process and into the correct system for that injury for where you are. That system is totally different for each of these injuries as well too. But I'm going to help you, and after this you're going to leave with a system on how to handle all these injuries. More individualized to you. The next quote, before I go into more detail, it's never a lack of resources, it's a lack of resourcefulness. Again, getting injured, you then need to go into the process of what do I need. Does that make sense? A lot of people see that and think, okay, what does that mean? So resources are all the different options in front of you. You need to resource the correct one. Another quote as well too with injuries, and some of these will resonate with you, is you're the problem and the solution with the injury that you have. Okay? Let's get into the detail. So first things first is that when an injury happens, where's my slide? Trauma injury, example is a car crash. There's nobody really here with a trauma injury right now. But lower back stuff that's gone on for years can be caused by something traumatic. For example, we see a lot of people when we come in, they have a lower back issue. I ask them, were you in a car crash? No, not recently. Were you in a car crash in the last 36 years of your life? Oh yeah, I was when I was 9 years of age. Okay, where did the car hit you? Or hit us from behind? And if people don't go through a rehab protocol from when that trauma injury happens, they'll hold their body differently. An example is that we have a member that who's 69 years of age. Back in the day when he broke his elbow, they reset it in a cast, and now he cannot extend that elbow. Now when you break your elbow or you have dislocation, they won't put it in a cast because otherwise you're set here. Okay? So whatever trauma has happened from, say, whatever, that's what that is. But if you need to firstly move yourself out of that. So again, that might be somebody like, I don't know, Paul, were you in a car crash?
No, but I had a bad fall.
Bad fall. There's, okay, so that's, I'm going to peel out examples, so I won't only work first name basis. Stress and emotion. The majority of people, this is where your lower back typically will come from. Stress and emotional, when you're in the womb, your pecs and your hip flexors are stress response muscles. So for example, when the baby's in the room, something happens outside to mammy, naturally they go like so. When you're about to get hit, punched, car crash, you'll do that. So naturally, when you're sitting at a laptop all day, the reason why sitting is so bad for you, you're sitting in and those muscles are shortened. Those muscles, if not lengthened on a regular basis, they will tighten, and you'll have what's called a cross syndrome effect. Tight pec up here can be causing your lower back injury, niggle down here, or even your knee, or even your niggles. Because what happens with a stress response, you following so far, you lost? Emotional or physical, that stress response, you start carrying your body differently. You won't be able to see this on the camera. When you walk, you take a step out, okay? You're extending and using your posterior chain, your left leg, your hamstring, while your hip flexor has worked here. This is coming through, this lat is engaged. That's a sequence. When you have a stress response, if one of those muscles is tight, that's going to move you ever so slightly different. If that stress is dealt with and you're carrying that for weeks, months, years, and your strength training, which you're meant to do, that might be causing lower back or something somewhere else that has come up through strength training. And that is totally normal. But typically when we do see anything to do with lower back, the first thing we kind of look at is hip flexors, how somebody's carrying themselves, has lifestyle changes, those factors change things. The final one is ignorance, technique. We see it a lot with people coming to the gym. Some people get away with it, poor technique, fine, happy days. Other people don't. So poor technique on exercise and understanding the breakdown of those exercises takes a lot of time to achieve that. So with the injury that was caused, have a think about it. What heading does that injury kind of come up under for you? This piece is hard to understand unless you're guided by a really, really good physio or a good strength coach. When you're working with the physio, remember physiotherapy is a system. It's a job. Typically physios, no offense for anyone who is physios, you were seeing people 30-minute sessions, 40-minute sessions on average, back to back to back to back. It's not really a chance for you to actually find out where the injury came from. Best thing that booking a physio appointment will do for your body, slows you down from doing the thing that might be aggravating that issue. You take a 1 week to 2 week break. Stress immediately has gone down, unless you use exercise and stress out, and we'll talk about that separately. Then the process of going to the physio, you're seeing somebody medical, they're a practitioner, and then immediately you're going to listen to them, they're going to give you the right solution, and then magically the injury you find a solution, you get better. Then you go back in, but then what you might have is the real issue might be coming from somewhere else. Moving on from that slide, I'll give you my story of my injury, so that would help you connect the dots, okay? So my first injury was when I was 16 years of age. I was ignoring a tight hip flexor. Just after junior cert, just after junior cert, I think, around that time. Right hip flexor, very tight, ignored it. Then eventually, one day on the track, started making the meters, pushed off, went to take a step, the leg wouldn't come through, just gone. So I pulled it down the ground. No massive pain, but again, the function of it was gone. That is a prime muscle in your body that's involved in walking up and running. Letting it get better, not finding the right solution, went back, tried to go back, do the same stuff I did. Then I got another injury. I think it was Achilles or fasciitis. Then went through the same process, resting, seeing the physio, and had another injury. I think it was a calf. So it just one after the other kept on happening. Whereas what I've found out since is that first injury that I've had, okay, first you need to get hands-on treatment, find a solution, get that better, then move into strength training, strengthening the overall body and the movement patterns and understanding it. Once I did that, then any other little injury that happened, I knew then to follow the right process. So when you are injured, you do get the injury. Step one is acceptance, okay? Step two is then processing. When you process, you need guidance from a professional, a coach or a physiotherapist. If you're going to a physio, get a referral from somebody you trust who's found a solution, because there's so many of them out there. So for example, the physios that I refer to, Sam Rice at the moment and Sean Healy, is because I know they'll sit down with you and they'll take 40 minutes, 50, 60 minutes, longer, whatever length of time you need, and they will see you once, maybe twice. Going back to physio 5, 6, 7 times for 30 minutes a session, it equates to the same amount of money, probably less, but the time that they've spent with you and you paid them more, actually being able to go through those 3 pillars and find out what the actual issue is. Then what a good physio will do is they'll communicate back to the coach. The coach takes the rehab program, integrates it into your strength training program, removes anything that will irritate it from guidance from the physio, and then you slowly build back up. But acceptance and then processing, and then going finding, as I said, the physiotherapist, hard to find, and then working with the coach. As I said, there's shit personal trainers, there's shit restaurants, there's also crap physios because they're probably just victim of the system, they've lost the energy, so just get a referral is all I'm saying, just don't go to any physio. And then as I discussed earlier, rest alone doesn't work because sometimes we're majorly stressed, we're not sleeping, we're maybe doing too much, and then we just need to take a step back, sit down, breathe, do some hot yoga, Bikram yoga. Like the hot yoga thing, sweating can really help, and you're just breathing, calming down. Go on a holiday. When you go on a holiday, enjoy the holiday, feel yourself de-stressing. Key is book another holiday so you have more de-stressing time to work towards. That is probably one of the biggest things, because you have your parasympathetic nervous system and your sympathetic nervous system. Parasympathetic is your breathing and your heart, basically. You don't think about them. But then from outside stressors, your parasympathetic system starts getting irritated because you're sitting at the screen, concentrating on something, you're holding your breath, that's stress, and you're not aware, and you're pecs, and you're leaning in. So therefore, if you're getting stressed in these shortened positions, you're unaware of your breath, you're going into training, you're tired, you're worn out, you're rushing in, that's stress. You then start training heavy and lifting really heavy, stress on top of stress on top of stress, and then something snaps. That's why the breathing is there. Trying to be aware of these 2 things and the connection of them. I'm introducing it today. You buy into it and explore it, or you don't. That's why the breathing is in the warm-up. It won't always stay there because you see some people buying into it and others don't. That warm-up will then change something else, more mobility focused next time. Because I'm not saying the breathing will work for you. I'm not saying that the strength training, this process will work for you. You need to design your own process by processing it with professional guidance. There's loads of different avenues to take. You just need to find the right solution for you. Is that okay? That is basically it. On that slide being the key, I mentioned that, yeah. So that slide being the key, we're going to work an open discussion from that. Any questions based off the slides firstly? Because I can see everybody just going, oh, okay, now this isn't straightforward.
Kind of makes sense.
It kind of makes sense, but at the same time, for most people,